Hyrule, the Great Plateau, a big part of Legend of Zelda. But what if I told you that in Tears of the Kingdom, there will be a whole new world underneath the surface of Legend of Zelda? So if we look at Breath of the Wild and we see that Hyrule and the Great Plateau is the biggest part of that game, because that is where you make most of your exploration throughout the entire game. But in Tears of the Kingdom, it's not just Hyrule. There's the surface above, the land underground. So, why am I saying this? Well, I think that the underground is not just a small bit of Tears of the Kingdom. I think the underworld is actually a brand new world, a bigger world than the surface above in Hyrule. If we look at the trailers, we do see Bokalman's mining. We could assume that this is the underground because of all the crystallized rocks on the walls, and it's so dark and there's debris in the air. So if this is the underground and this is just one area of it, we could theorize that this game is gonna be bigger, but not just on the surface, but underneath the surface. In Legend of Zelda, they like to expand when it comes to exploration and when the story is involved. In Breath of the Wild, there was not much of a story to be involved with the scenarios happening in Hyrule that Tears of the Kingdom could potentially have, because we're seen in caves pretty often in these trailers that we've gotten, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get another trailer with Link or with us being in a cave. Maybe it's a story this time for further story analysis or more gameplay. But I could say that I think the underground is not just a small bit of Legend of Zelda in Tears of the Kingdom. I think it is probably the biggest area, or it will be the biggest area in that game, because if they're not changing Hyrule and people say that it's not gonna be a big difference to Hyrule, then underground, we don't know anything whether or not it could be bigger than what we have above, and it could be so correlated with the story that they have to make a brand new world. Maybe we're not just in the sky. Maybe the sky is just another way of making shrines. Maybe the sky is the whole puzzle and you build the sky by being underground. Maybe underground is what brings you up. Who knows? Maybe you don't start in the skies. Maybe you start underground. Maybe underground is bigger than we think, because if it is tied to the story, I can say that the underground is going to be way bigger and more important to this game than we think. We think it's just like, oh cool, you could go through caves and it's just like a little addition to the game. No. The underground is going to be way bigger than we think. Who knows? Maybe we could just explore it the entire way through. Maybe the entire map has an entire ground. Maybe it's bigger. Maybe it's equivalent to the size of Hyrule. Right now we don't know. But it really seems like the underground is not just a little add-on to what Breath of the Wild was. Tears of the Kingdom is going to have 3 layers to it. The sky above, the Great Plateau in Hyrule, and the underground. So, why do I think it's going to be bigger than we think? Because if Hyrule is not being changed as we think, or as we say it is, then the underground, with a lot of evidence we've seen from the videos and the trailers that they have given us, it looks like we're in the underground for quite a lot of the game, because they did spread it out evenly in the trailers, and you do see we're in the underground. We're running away from a Hinox. You're fighting a stone talus. You have a fire shield. See, that was in the first trailer, so we're not as familiar with that because it's like a little snippet in that trailer. But the newer trailers, we see a lot more, because there's not just one particular shot of the underground. There's more to the underground than we actually think there is. So does that mean that the underground is gonna be massively big? Is it going to be bigger than Hyrule and the Great Plateau? I believe so, because again, I don't think it's just an add-on. I think it's way bigger than we think. Maybe that's where the dungeons are held. I don't think they would just make underground and be like, oh, this is just a little thing we did. Maybe you could like go in like a little cave and like just explore what they have. Go mining like for the crystals, like amber. No, that's not the case. The underground is going to be way bigger than we think, and even if Hyrule hasn't been changed, it's not that big of a concern if the underground is larger or the same size as Hyrule. So where is there to be concerned about Hyrule not changing? Yes, Hyrule, we don't know if it's changing or not, but it would definitely be better if it did change more than it was in Breath of the Wild. If we don't get any change from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom, then that's a little interesting why they went that path. But it makes more sense when you think that the underground is going to be expansive compared to Hyrule and how Breath of the Wild handled the area. But Tears of the Kingdom is definitely going to be way bigger than we think, and hopefully we do get new trailers this coming month, because we're already 2 days from March. February moved by pretty fast. We're only 2 months away from the launch of Tears of the Kingdom, so hopefully we do get more information this month, and we see either more gameplay trailers or a story trailer. I'd prefer a story trailer. I kind of want to know what is going on in the story right now, because my favorite thing of Legend of Zelda is having a good story and playing it throughout. Because Breath of the Wild wasn't that enjoyable when it came to story. It was great gameplay. It's a fun time, but I feel like Tears of the Kingdom, if they can nail this game could be something special. But with that, guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.